Good evening from Perugia, Italy, where tonight an American college student has been found guilty of murder in a case that has sparked international headlines and controversy. It was a stunning verdict in what's been called Italy's trial of the century, and for 22-year-old Amanda Knox and her family from Seattle, it was a devastating loss. Throughout the day, as deliberations wore on, Amanda Knox's family anxiously waited in a hotel near the courthouse. They tried their best to relieve the tension, Amanda's mother and sister singing some of Amanda's favorite songs, including the one that has become Amanda's anthem of late, the Beatles' Let It Be.
Words of wisdom, let it be.
Amanda! Finally, Amanda Knox was led into this packed medieval courtroom to hear the judge pronounce her verdict.
Per quanto riguarda Amanda Knox,
Amanda and her former boyfriend, Raffaele Sollecito, guilty of the murder of 21-year-old Meredith Kircher. Amanda was sentenced to 26 years in prison. Outside the courtroom, the crowds were cheering. Inside, the family was sobbing. Quickly, the Knoxes left the courthouse, devastated by the verdict. It was a stunning twist in the ordeal that began more than 2 years ago, when Amanda's younger sister, Deanna, shot this video as Amanda made her way to Perugia to fulfill a dream, studying Italian in this city, famous for its chocolates and its university.
Are you excited to go visit where you're going to live in Italy?
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to actually getting a place to live. It's the big thing that's on my mind right now. It's actually kind of paranoid for me.
Deanna helped Amanda find this cottage overlooking the hills surrounding town. It was to be shared with 3 roommates, including British co-ed Meredith Kircher, who was also fulfilling her dream of a year abroad. But on the night of November 2nd, 2007, her other roommates away for a holiday, Meredith Kircher was brutally murdered in her bedroom, her throat slashed, her half-naked body found under a duvet. For Amanda Knox, the nightmare was just beginning. Within days, Amanda and Raffaele were arrested.
When police arrived here that Friday
And from the start, the Italian and the British press vilified Amanda, seizing on the young lover's supposedly suspect behavior, kissing outside the murder scene, buying so-called sexy lingerie at a local store just a day after the murder.
The media in Italy has demonized her.
Theodore Simon is an American defense attorney who specializes in international law.
How does a young college exchange student who has no prior record, who has no violence in her background, within a couple of weeks somehow transforms themselves into being a horrific, bloody murderer?
It's just not feasible. Anybody who knows Amanda, knows her character, her true character, will tell you it's not possible. It's not her.
At first, the prosecutors spun a theory that Amanda, Raffaele, and a local man, Rudy Gaudet, viciously murdered Meredith during a drug-fueled sex orgy that went horribly wrong. But in closing arguments last week, the prosecutor introduced a brand new motive, that Amanda was angry with her roommate. The 2 girls got into a fight over money, he said, and Amanda slit Meredith's throat with a kitchen knife.
La condanna di Amanda Knox alla pena dell'ergastolo.
Prosecutor Giuliani Menini requested a life sentence and 9 months of daytime solitary confinement. Amanda was allowed to address the court in Italian, calling the prosecution's theory pure fantasy.
Meredith era mia amica e non la odiavo.
Meredith was my friend, she said, and I didn't hate her. Former prosecutor John Q. Kelly has examined the evidence in the Knox case.
The final animation by the prosecution has these 2 men who don't even know each other holding either side of Meredith, while Amanda, who is by all accounts friendly with Meredith, except for arguments over maybe like cleaning up dishes in the sink or something like that, is brutally murdering her. There's no motive for that.
You're left with a video that is little more than Alice in Wonderland of what may or may not have happened. There was simply no evidence of any sort that links Amanda Knox to the crime scene. There was no DNA, no footprint, no fingerprint, no fiber.
Amanda and her parents have gotten a hard lesson in the Italian legal system. Her case was decided by a jury of 2 judges and 6 local residents who were not screened for any bias.
The lead judge, if there is a tie, 4-4, gets a second vote. And you can have a verdict that is 5-4 on a murder charge.
Just a mere majority.
That is correct.
There were more than 40 hearings and 150 witnesses. One of them was Amanda herself. She told the jury she was hit by police before signing a statement that she had a vision she was there the night of the murder and heard screams.
They were treating me so badly and didn't understand why.
At all other times, Amanda has insisted she wasn't at the murder scene.
Amanda was interrogated for almost 40 hours without counsel, the last 15 hours almost straight through, and she didn't confess. The worst thing she said she did, worst case scenario, had she been there, she said, I covered my ears, you know, if Meredith was screaming. That's what I would have done. That's what I did do if I was there. Nothing else.
And what about the evidence? The prosecution said it had a knife with Meredith and Amanda's DNA on it, found in Raffaele's kitchen.
They said the amount was so small and the density so weak, they couldn't even positively identify it as Meredith's. It just defies logic. It's the only thing they have, and it defies any sort of explanation.
In the end, the defense said it would have been impossible for Amanda to clean up her own DNA and yet leave behind all the DNA belonging to the one man who's already convicted of the crime, Rudy Gaudet. Gaudet is now appealing his 30-year sentence.
Could Amanda and Raffaele have been in there and stabbed her and not left?
Impossible. When you're involved with someone in a violent struggle, especially when there's a lot of blood involved, you leave evidence there and you take evidence with you. They did not find one scintilla of Amanda's evidence of having ever been in that room. These kids, in my mind, at least in my opinion, are clearly innocent.
Clearly, the judges and jury bought the prosecution's case in its entirety.